firstly, how does it feel back in an A-League post again and doing a pre-season with the Wellington Phoenix?
It's exciting. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I always had lots of enthusiasm, so that hasn't changed. But the board's been quite clear in filling me in their plans and vision, and it's really exciting. It's about building a club rather than buying a team, and developing young, up-and-coming New Zealand players. So that added to the quality of the senior players we have, it's a really exciting job.
We were just speaking off camera before we started the interview about how much you've loved the move to Wellington. Before we get to the football side of things, how's it gone off the field moving to New Zealand for you?
Well, my wife and I have moved over there, and Wellington is just a great place. I know there's been a couple of earthquakes recently, but they're unusual, I'm told. But it's just, Wellington's a lovely place. Very similar in many ways to Melbourne, you know, little restaurants and it's interesting and nice people. So we're really loving it, and it's just so picturesque overlooking the water.
You've inherited a squad that, for whatever reason, propped up the table last year in the A-League. What impression have they made on you, before we get to your new signings and the players that have come in, the squad that's already there, what sort of impression have they made early on as you've taken training?
The core of the squad is rock solid, and everyone at the club is really keen to do well and make the finals. They're really disappointed about last season. We'll put that behind us. The energy and enthusiasm at training is first class, and knowing that I've got a solid squad down the spine of the team, Mossie's, Sigmund, Durante, Manny Muscat, Vince Leah, Paul Eiffel, Jeremy Brocky. It's an ideal sort of squad to add youngsters to, because they are good leaders on the field. So I'm pretty keen on signing several young players to add to our squad numbers.
On your signings that have been made for the season, Carlos was actually signed before you announced, of course, but no less a huge signing for the club and a huge player in the A-League's history. What are your hopes for Carlos this year?
Well, you're right. Carlos was signed 4 months before I arrived. He's an excellent player. He was outstanding and Player of the Year in 2009, voted by his peers. He's got the capability of having another great season. Fitness, he's working on very hard. He's got a new maturity about him, and believe it or not, against the Wanderers, he actually made a tackle for the first time I've ever seen him tackle. But no, Carlos has been a great addition to the squad, and of course he's helped us sign another Costa Rican international, Kenny Cunningham, who arrives next week into Wellington. So we're bolstering our foreign squad a legion straight away.
And on your attacking third, Carlos is perhaps the headline act, but you've also got Jeremy Brocky, who's had an off-season spent over in the MLS, and Paul Eiffel, who remains one of the A-League's most exciting players. Are you excited by the potency you have at your hand there?
Yes. Paul had last year. He had a tough year. He was dogged by injury last year. He's returned to training this year, 7 kilos lighter. He's been training in the house down. Jeremy Brockie's been over in the MLS with Toronto. 2 excellent strikers. We've got Leo Bertos. Now, as I said, Kenny Cunningham. I've got a young boy who played a bit last year called Tyler Boyd, who's an excellent player. And we've just signed a 17-year-old attacking midfielder who will be Carlos's understudy, called Alex Rufer, with a very famous uncle, Winton Rufer, and father Shane. Both, of course, played for the All Whites, and Winton was a star over in Germany. So we've got that mix of senior players and young up-and-coming New Zealand players also.
And how important will the Phoenix's home form be this year? We hear from players around the traps that Westpac Stadium is the most unenviable stadium to go and play at because of the conditions, because of the crowd. I mean, all things being equal, it's a tough place to go to. How important will getting that home form right and making Westpac Stadium a fortress again be to the Phoenix's success this year?
Well, we want to keep it as a tough place to go to. But I'm trying to change the thinking a little bit. I don't believe in just home wins and doing well at home and winning games at home. That's crucial, but what's also crucial is winning games away from home. And if we want to get in the finals, we've got to take away our excuses for not performing well in Australia. So the travel, we have to take the travel out of it, and we've got to have an attitude where we want to score goals at home games, but we want to score goals away as well.
It's a big year for New Zealand football as well, of course. Towards the end of this year, they'll be facing a Central American opponent to perhaps seal a second straight World Cup berth. How much is that a boost to you, knowing that a lot of your players are going to be very hungry to make an impression?
Well, Ricky Herbert's got a tough job. They'll be facing the fourth team from the CONCACAF region. We will do everything we can to assist them in qualifying for the World Cup. It's great for the country. Obviously, it's difficult when we lose players on a FIFA international weekend, but that's the same for all clubs. So I think it's exciting, and if they qualify for another World Cup and go over to Brazil, that's great for New Zealand football, and it's great for the Wellington Phoenix.
And just finally, Ernie, we heard last year from the Phoenix owners they wanted a particular brand of football played by the Phoenix. They drew a line in the sand almost. But of course, there's the pressure to get success there and to satisfy the throng of Phoenix fans that flock to Wellington's stadium week in, week out. What's your measure of success for this coming season?
Well, possession football, attacking football, goal scoring, it all goes hand in hand. And the most exciting part of any game is always the goals being scored, and I have a track record. In fact, the 6 seasons I was at Melbourne Victory, we scored more goals than any other team in the league. Hopefully we can bring that to the Phoenix. It's the Phoenix brand of football we're playing. We're not going to play the Barcelona brand or any other brand. We're going to play Wellington Phoenix brand of football. We're going to keep possession and create as many goal-scoring chances as we can.
Well, Ernie, we wish you all the best in getting to that level of attainment. Until then, enjoy the rest of your pre-season and good luck at the Phoenix.
Thank you.